และในช่วงเช้าวันนี้คุณสุทธิชัยยุนได้พบกับดร.มหาธีมูฮัมหมัดค่ะซึ่งเป็นส่วนหนึ่งของการสัมภาษณ์พิเศษค่ะการพบกันในช่วงเช้าวันนี้นะคะที่โรงแรมแชงกรีล่าซึ่งภารกิจของดร.มหาธีแน่นอย่างมากนะคะก่อนที่จะพบกับคุณสุทธิชัยก็มีการประชุมก่อนหน้านั้นและทำหน้าที่จบลงไปแล้วนะคะซึ่งมีทีมตัวแทนของรัฐบาลมาเลเซียเดินทางมาร่วมด้วยจำนวนหนึ่งการสัมภาษณ์พิเศษครอบคลุมเนื้อหาหลากหลายค่ะโดยเฉพาะเรื่องของการพูดคุยสันติภาพและบทบาทของมาเลเซียในอาเซียนค่ะ
Dr. Mahathir, welcome to Thailand.
Thank you.
So happy to see you here after I talked to you in KL in August. And this, you must have lost count of the number of times you have visited Thailand.
Yeah, I don't remember. I first came to Thailand way back in 1959.
59?
A long time ago.
As a Prime Minister?
No. I was an ordinary medical practitioner at that time.
And what were you doing in Thailand for the first time as a physician?
Not up to Bangkok. We went to Hanyai.
Yes.
Songkhla.
Songkhla, yes.
But later on, I came to Bangkok also for as a tourist.
What is the most important impression of you about Thailand?
Thailand grows very fast. Yeah, and see lots of people now in Thailand. Bangkok in those days was of course very quiet because not too many motor vehicles in those days.
Yes.
But now we have a lot of cars. Yeah, but also I saw only the main parts of Bangkok.
Yes.
Sukhumvit and all that.
Yes. But you know, traffic jam in Bangkok and in KL are equally bad now. I was in KL recently.
Yeah.
And I was caught in traffic this morning before coming here. I had to take a Grab bike, motorbike, to be on time.
I see.
How bad is traffic in KL?
Well, they keep on building flyovers and all that, but still traffic is very bad actually because every year they sell about 700,000 cars.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know what happens after that.
Right.
Because we wanted an automotive industry, so we can't tell people don't buy cars.
So you cannot have the best of both worlds. You have automotive industry, people will buy cars. You met Prime Minister Prayut yesterday.
Yes.
And you talked about many things, especially about the South.
Yes.
What did you tell him, sir, about your role in trying or stepping up the pace of facilitating the peace process?
Before, when we were having a lot of problem with terrorists, Thailand helped us a lot, and finally, with Thailand's cooperation, we settled the problem. So now we feel that we have an obligation to help Thailand settle the problem in the south, because this violence will not lead to anywhere. And see, it's not going to be successful. So it's better for them to negotiate a ceasefire, so that there will be less violence, and this will be good for the development of that part of the country.
Yes. What did Prime Minister Prayut tell you about the process?
Yes.
What did he ask you to do?
Basically, he's fully supportive, and he appreciates, of course, Malaysia's stand, and that Malaysia have got people who have been, who knows the South very well.
Yes.
So we have appointed a new facilitator.
Yes.
And he says that the presence of troops there are really not against people in the south, but to ensure peace and stability in the south.
Yes.
And I hope, I don't believe that they are meant to suppress the people in the south. But these matters need to be discussed.
Right.
And eventually a ceasefire agreement must be signed.
Well, you have appointed a new facilitator.
Yes.
Rahim Noor.
Yeah.
On the Thai side, also a new head of the working group
Yes.
on the peace process also has been appointed. Do they know each other?
Well, Rahim knows a lot about Thailand, about the leaders of Thailand,
Yes.
even the officers in Thailand.
Yes.
And he understands what it is that Thailand wants to do. And I think he gets along well because he was instrumental in finally ending the emergency in Malaysia.
Yes. Did you bring him along this time to meet
Yes,
Prime
he's
Minister
here,
Prayut?
he's here, yeah.
Yes, so they met.
Yeah, they met.
And also General Udom Chai, who's a new
Yeah.
facilitator on the Thai side. They have met.
Yeah.
You told me last time when we met that the peace process needs to expand to include more parties concerned. Are you suggesting to the Thai side that they should include more parties in the peace process?
We should try to talk to all the different parties. Unfortunately, the people in the south, they are not represented by just one party.
That's right.
If you have an agreement with one party, the other parties may not agree.
Yes.
So it's better to try and meet all the different parties and to get everybody committed to the peace process.
So you're trying to invite more parties into the
Yeah,
process? But because so far the Mara Patini, the umbrella organization, has been the main representative in the talk. The BRN just spoke, the spokesman just gave a sort of a briefing to the news people 2 days ago, saying that they need to expand the role of mediator or facilitator to include international body of some sort, apart from Malaysia. You think that is possible?
If we see the need, surely we should accept other participants also. But for the moment, there is no concrete proposal.
Yes. The BRN says they have concrete proposals. They say they need, of course, real effort to end violence, and they expect the Thai government to be more open. I'm not sure whether they have proposed any concrete measures to you.
Not after we have appointed Rahim. The previous appointee was by the previous government.
Yes.
I didn't know him. So I'm hoping that with Rahim there, I will be kept informed as to the progress they have made.
But you have connection to a lot of these organizations. They trust you,
Well,
and you may be able to bring them into the process.
I did try once, and we brought them together. There was quite a strong willingness to end the violence. But unfortunately, the other groups do not agree.
So how are you going to convince them now?
We'll try. We'll try.
You know them all, of course. You have connections. Rahim Noor also knows all these organizations. Because the main criticism of the process is that those who are talking to the Thai government do not represent those on the ground. So if they do not represent those on the ground, they cannot speak on behalf of the whole process. Is that the real issue?
That's a problem. There are some extremist group, for example, they don't want to negotiate or anything. They are very rigid in their approach to the negotiation. In fact, they still believe that through violence they can achieve their objective.
And you think it's not possible? Violence cannot
Violence
achieve.
can never solve anything.
And how do we convince them that they should end violence?
Yeah. Well, we have to talk about our previous experiences. You know, we had problem upon independence. We had problem of confrontation by Indonesia, claims by the Philippines, also claimed by Thailand.
Yes.
And we settle all these through negotiation, not through violence.
There is a proposal of a ceasefire or a safety zone,
Yeah.
starting with a certain area, a district, for example. Then, if that works, they can expand it into a wider ceasefire area. Is that what you will be pursuing?
Yeah, we will have to take step by step. We cannot achieve the whole objective in one go.
Right.
We have to show the benefits of a ceasefire, for example, in a certain area. If they realize that it is beneficial towards them, then I think they will be more likely to accept the approach that we are going to take.
They might talk about autonomy.
They
And
might-
autonomy has many interpretations.
Yeah.
What kind of autonomy do you think is workable, is possible?
Yeah, we have many models which we can copy. Indonesia has shown certain models in the north, in Aceh, for example, and in Yogyakarta.
Yes.
They are still a part of Indonesia,
Yes.
but they have certain authority over that part of the country.
Yes.
Of course, we can modify to make it suitable for both the government and the certain groups. But for that, we'll have to talk to them.
Yes. Yes. And of course, the issue of development, well-being. You mentioned to me last time that one of the main issues would be how do we make the standard of living of the people down south better? Is that part of the peace process?
There must be something beneficial to them for them to accept any move for a ceasefire. But if they say no alteration in their standard of living and all that, I think they will not be attracted to a ceasefire.
But you have made it a policy that on the Malaysian side, it will be strict enforcement of the law, that there was no suspicion of unofficial support of the rebels once they cross over to the Malaysian side, which in the past was always a suspicion from the Thai side. Have you cleared up that suspicion?
You see, there are dual nationalities among them.
Yes.
They admit to becoming a Malaysian, and yet they hold Thai documents. So we have to settle on this dual citizenship, because they are related, same people,
Yes.
related. They have relatives in Kelantan
Yes.
and also in southern Thailand.
Yes.
So they keep on moving up and down. Whether they are planning for violence or not, sometimes we do not know.
Right.
But the fact is, at the border area, we find a lot of Malays on the Thai side and a lot of Thais on the Malay side.
Right. And the majority of the people are peaceful.
Yes.
They're just making a living.
Yeah.
Because I was born near that area, and you too, right?
Yes.
So you know very well that on the border, people cross in the morning, back in the evening, but most of them are peaceful people.
Yeah.
So how do you resolve the dual nationality issue without affecting the relationship?
Well, even if they have one single nationality, it doesn't mean that they cannot move to the other side
Right.
to visit and all that. So they may have relatives on the other side. They want to visit. We can't say no to them. They may be Thai. On the other hand, there are a lot of Malaysians who have relatives across the border. And these people have been living in Malaysia a long, long time. Their
Many
family,
generations.
Many generations. And some of them before were Thai-speaking people.
Yes.
They are Malays, but
Yes.
they speak Thai.
Yes.
And see, and we have also people who are called Sam, which means that they are Malays,
Yes.
but their language is Thai.
Yes,
language.
Sam right?
Yeah, Sam. Yeah.
So it's very common, and in fact, it's very healthy for people on both sides. Except that when violence takes place, then you start to suspect that this might be an element of the trouble, right?
Well, we cannot hope to have no extremists. There will be extremists. Very difficult to convince them. But we need to try. If you don't try, then you can resolve the problem.
Yes. Aren't you afraid of penetration of the extremists from outside into the southern part of Thailand?
And there are also that possibility, especially some Islamic terrorists in other countries might want to recruit them. So we do have that problem in Malaysia and I think also in southern Thailand.
Yes. So if we do not resolve the current problem of violence, it might become an international terrorism issue, right?
Yes, yes.
But you're working. Malaysia working with Indonesia and Singapore against these ISIS elements too,
Yes,
right?
we are. We have to cooperate because they're very mobile. They can move from one country to another quite easily. We don't know what passport they carry, but sometimes as they smuggle themselves in.
You also discussed with General Prayut other issues as well, bilateral issues.
Yes, trade and all that.
Trade,
investment, and also the bureaucratic procedures for people crossing the border.
They were proposing a 24-hour border crossing. I was there in Sadao, and they had a new building, but they were waiting for the implementation. What is the main obstacle?
Main obstacle is that we need to have personnel there.
Yes.
And we need to change every now and then.
Yes.
Because if we become too familiar, then wrong things will be done.
And corruption could take place.
Yes, corruption could take place.
So that has been agreed upon, that you would speed things up?
Yes, we agreed to have a 24-hour checkpoints.
Also, Thailand will become the ASEAN chair next year.
Yes.
What do you expect Thailand's role to be in some of the ASEAN issues that you think Thailand can help solve or accelerate?
Yeah. We need to think in terms of the unity of the region rather than of individual countries. If you are too very fanatical about each nation, then we cannot work together. And some of us will need to make some sacrifice in terms of our national objectives so that we can accommodate other nations. Actually, ASEAN is a very big market of more than 600 million people.
Right.
Even if they are poor, their needs must be met, and they will need a lot of things which by trading within the nation we can supply them with the little things that they need, and that will contribute towards the growth and development of ASEAN region.
So Thailand can help to promote that sense of unity?
I think so, because Thailand, well, is the only country that was not colonized by the West.
Yes.
And it has shown its ability to survive and sustain itself. And we want to learn about how Thailand managed to do so. and also how Thailand managed to industrialize. For example, you adopt a policy of assembling foreign-made cars for export, and we have done very well. 2 million cars are exported from Thailand, whereas in Malaysia we wanted to have a national car.
Yes.
And because we want to have a national car, we do not assemble other cars for export.
So what is better? Which is a better model?
It
The Thai
depends.
model or the Malaysian model?
Well, the Malaysian want to take pride in having a national car.
Yes.
And doing all the things to produce a car.
Yes.
That is a very concentrated engineering procedures.
Yes.
So we want to improve our engineering and manufacturing capacity. So by that's why we chose to build our own car.
Right.
Yeah, but if we just assemble other cars, it's good for the economy.
Yes.
But you don't have the skill to build your own car.
So you are still supporting or advocating the policy of having Malaysia's own national car.
Yeah. I think there is a great potential for the countries of ASEAN to work together to build perhaps
An ASEAN car.
An ASEAN car. The work can be distributed among the different countries. Nowadays, people always outsource.
Yes.
They never build anything just inside the country. Even airplanes, as you know, they make parts all over the world.
Yes.
And then they put together in the manufacturing country. Motor cars can do the same. We can. Thailand is good in manufacturing certain components.
Sure.
Malaysia has got this electronics business, which will be incorporated in the car. And what will happen, of course, is that the market will be enlarged.
Right.
And a car needs to be mass produced, and it must be sold in big numbers. But with 600 million people,
Yes.
even though they are poor, their demand for motor vehicles is great. So we should be able to meet the demands.
So are you proposing an ASEAN car?
Well, we have spoken to the Indonesian,
Yes.
you see, but it should be totally an ASEAN car rather than just two countries.
Thailand can also be a very important part of this project.
Obviously, we have you have the manufacturing capability. So even if we produce different parts in different countries, but in the country that the car is going to be sold, it is assembled there.
Yes, of course. So can I say that Dr. Mahathir is proposing an ASEAN car concept?
Well, it is in my mind. I don't know whether it will be accepted or not.
Right. Also, they are talking about electric cars. So that might be one step further from the original concept.
Yeah, we can have an electric car. Electric cars at the moment are very costly.
Yes.
It's twice the price of an ordinary ICE engine car because the battery cost is the same as the whole car.
Sure.
So it is double.
Sure.
The price of battery car is double that of an ordinary internal combustion engine car. But also we need to have charging points. You see, so all these things, the infrastructure must be prepared for electric cars.
What about driverless cars?
Well, that may come, but I think it will be a long time.
You'll be there. You will be there to see it.
Probably will never see it.
Thailand being the next chairman for next year, we have to look at your comment about the Rohingya of Myanmar.
Yeah.
Do you think that Thailand can play a role in facilitating discussions between Myanmar and the rest of ASEAN, especially with Malaysia, about treatment of the Rohingya and the Rohingya issue should it be an ASEAN issue or is it a bilateral issue?
It is a question of principle that people living in any country should be given rights, should be regarded as citizens. When Malaysia became independent, we have 40% foreign people of foreign origin.
Yes.
We accepted all of them.
Yes.
Even retain their language, retain their schools. And as a result, Malaysia became peaceful and everybody enjoys a better life. So I think if even Thailand, you have a lot of tribal people.
Yes.
Yeah, different. Some are more like Cambodians or Laotians and all that.
Myanmar.
But they are all Thai citizens, including Malaysian. So I think accepting foreigners is a good thing. Of course, it should not overwhelm the locals.
Yes.
But the contribution made by foreign citizens in the country can be very considerable, can help the country prosper and everybody have a good life.
But you were very strong when you suggested, or in fact you declared that Malaysia would not support Aung San Suu Kyi anymore because of the Rohingya issue.
We are very disappointed. We had supported her during the time when she was confined by the military government. And we thought that with that experience, she should feel a lot of sympathy for the sufferings of the Rohingyas. But until now, she refuses to admit that there is a problem. So we feel very disappointed indeed.
What can we do as ASEAN members?
ASEAN members, I don't know whether our policy is non-interference in the internal affairs of member nations. But how far should that non-interference be? If you see people being massacred, being killed, like what happened in Cambodia, the people of Cambodia suffered because they couldn't fight against the government, and they were suffering, they were being killed. Almost 2 million of them were killed.
Yes.
Do we sit by and watch them killing and not do anything for them? I think we should find a way of doing something for these oppressed people.
So ASEAN cannot just sit idly by. What can ASEAN do? Would you propose that it should be on the agenda of ASEAN in the next summit in November?
We'll have to find the feelings of the countries, the ASEAN countries first. What are they inclined to do, and then we may reach some consensus on what should be done.
Have you talked to the Thai government about this?
No.
Don't you think Thailand could act as a good mediator, facilitator?
Thailand is the country nearest to Myanmar. And of course, you have a lot of refugees coming from Myanmar into Thailand. So you know the people much better.
Yes.
So perhaps your people can persuade them that having people of other ethnic group in the country is not a bad thing, because in all our countries, including Thailand, people have come and settled here and become citizens. And of course in Malaysia, Singapore, these are countries where a lot of foreigners have come in. But the Rohingyas are not even foreigners. They have been there for about 800 years. And in fact, they became a part of Burma because of the British. The British set up one government for the whole region, and that includes Rakhine State.
The official version from Myanmar is that they are not even called Rohingya. They are illegal Bengali immigrants who stayed in Myanmar illegally. So they need to be pushed out or pushed back.
We don't know about legality and the length of time they have been in Myanmar. As far as we know, these people may have some resemblance to the Bengali people,
Yes.
but they are there a long, long time. In Malaysia, people of Chinese and Indian origin, they are quite recent people, certainly not hundreds of years,
Yes.
but we accepted them. You see, so it's good to accept and have a peaceful country where growth is possible.
I look at the international world order now and I'm very troubled by the big changes happening. You saw the news this morning of the suspicious bomb packages sent to former Presidents Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and a few other places, including the CNN newsroom.
Yeah.
What do you think? What is your interpretation of that? What is happening to this world?
I think in every country there are extremists, and these extremists may be acting on their own. They thought that by doing that, they could ensure that Trump will be the president after the next election.
Right.
But that is a negative thing to do. You turn people against them.
Yes.
You see, so I don't know whether they really meant. I mean, if they want to explode a bomb, I think they can, but they just send
Pipe bomb, they call it.
Yeah,
It could be a threat, it could be a real thing, we don't know. But the fact that these things happen in America, I think sends a very negative signal around the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How do we as ASEAN handle the rivalry between the big powers now? America, China, Russia, Japan, India?
For Malaysia, we don't want to be involved in the disputes between other countries. We want to stay neutral.
Yes.
We want to be friendly with all countries, with both sides. So we hope that they will settle their problem, but we will not participate in any of the violent activities, if there is any.
Yes. But you don't want to get involved, but they will get you involved one way or the other. South China Sea, trade war, North Korea, you see all these things that somehow ASEAN collectively or individually are dragged into it. How do we handle it? Because I see this as a new world order that is very new compared to what we have been through since World War II. Do you see a new world order?
Well, one thing is certain, we cannot go to war. We cannot go to war and fight China. So what do? We try to use peaceful means, like negotiation, like arbitration, or like going to the courts of law.
Yes.
These are the best ways of dealing with conflicts between nations.
Yes. You're seeing General Prem this afternoon, an old friend.
Yeah.
What do you want to tell him? He's
No, I don't-
98 and you are 93. Two young men meeting, talking about the world, Thailand and Malaysia. What are you going to tell General Prem?
Talk about old times.
The future, what about the future?
Future, yes, I think surely General Prem also believes in peace.
Yes.
You see, only in peace can countries prosper.
And he's a Southerner too, so he will have a lot of things to say about the South. With you too, I think. You're also talking to the university students at Chulalongkorn. What are you telling the young people of Thailand?
Well, they asked me to talk about Malaysia and Thailand, our relation.
Yes.
Through history, there had been some conflicts in the past.
Yes.
But we have chosen to settle problems in peace, and we have done very well, I think. It is a unique way of solving the overlapping claims in the sea of the southern coast of Thailand and Kelantan. We settled them by agreeing that we will share. You get 50%, we get 50%. That kind of thing. It's a unique solution to a conflicting problem. And I think if that is a model, it is a good model for other countries when settling problems within them.
Last question. Prime Minister Mahathir will remain Prime Minister for 2 more years. I met Anwar Ibrahim after I interviewed you, and he seems to be quite happy with you. He says he is giving you all the time you need to solve the problems, and he will be ready to take over anytime Mahathir wants. So when is it?
Well, I'm 93. In 2 years' time, I'll be 95. That's a ripe old age.
Ripe old age, yes.
So I promise to step down.
Yes.
Maybe 90 in the next 2 years.
Yes.
And it's up to the people.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm ready to step down anytime.
Anytime. Ready. Are you happy with what you have been doing the past 3-4 months?
Well, the main objective was to remove the previous Prime Minister.
Yes.
That has been achieved. So
Right.
the major objective has been, has been achieved. The only thing now is how to make corrective action.
Yes.
To restore the country to its democratic ways, to the rule of law. This is being done now.
Yes. So you're happy?
I'm quite happy.
So whatever happens from now on is okay?
Well, there will come a time when I won't be around. Whether I care or not, I'm not around.
What's a legacy you want to leave behind?
A peaceful country.
Peaceful.
You see, when I first became Prime Minister, there were suspicion that I am anti-Chinese, anti-Indian.
Yes.
But at the end of my term for the last time, after 22 years, I had the support of all the people of different races.
It showed in the election, it showed very clearly that you got the support from all parties concerned.
All communities. So I think Malaysia, whether we like it or not, is already a multiracial country.
Sure.
The only thing that we need is for the different races to be tolerant of each other, to work with each other, to be fair to each other. That's all.
Most people, when they grow old, they become conservative. But you, as you grow old, you become more liberal. The LGBT issue, the death penalty things. It seems that you're now more liberal than before.
Not LGBT though. But I think I look back, and there were certain practices which people think is wrong. But those were done in order to develop the country.
Yes.
But if they don't like the way I did things, we can change and find new ways of doing things.
That's great. That's great. So you are the real leader who adapts to changes.
Well, we can't have the world adapt to us. We have to adapt to the world.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank
you very much, sir.
ในวัย 93 ปี ดร.มหาธี โมฮัมหมัดยังเต็มไปด้วยความคิดที่เฉียบคมนะคะ ตอบตรงๆทุกคำถามค่ะ ไม่ว่าจะเป็นเรื่องภาคใต้สันติภาพในภาคใต้ของไทย การเมืองในมาเลเซีย สัมพันธ์ไทยมาเลเซีย และความเป็นไทยและมาเลเซียในอาเซียนค่ะ